From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, October the 10th, 2024. The IDF said today that a reservist was killed in Lebanon. He is 36-year-old Sergeant Major in Reserve Roni Ganizat, killed fighting terror group Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. Another reserve soldier was seriously wounded in the same incident. An Israeli civilian who was critically injured in a terror attack in Hadera yesterday died from those injuries today. He is 35-year-old Raphael Mordechai Fishoff. And the couple killed yesterday in a rocket attack by Hezbollah on Kiryat Shmona in northern Israel were named later as 45-year-old Revital Yehud and 43-year-old Dvir Sharvit. Rockets continued to bombard northern Israel today from Hezbollah, who also fired an armed drone today at the Upper Galilee. It was intercepted. The IDF continues to respond to the attacks from Hezbollah, saying today that 2 Hezbollah terrorists were eliminated in precise strikes, including a commander responsible for hundreds of missile and anti-tank missile attacks toward the Kiryat Shmona area, and the commander of Hezbollah's anti-tank unit in the area, responsible, the IDF said, for extensive anti-tank missile attacks toward communities in northern Israel. The IDF also eliminated a terrorist in Hezbollah's Golan terrorist network. It said Hezbollah's terror cell in Syria, in the area of Quneitra. The IDF saying he relayed information from Syrian regime sources to Hezbollah and transmitted intelligence gathered on the Syrian front to facilitate operations against Israel in the Golan Heights. And Israeli aircraft under precise intelligence guidance, the IDF said, also eliminated Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad terrorists in Gaza. Terrorists who it said were operating in a command and control complex in an area that was previously used as a medical complex in Jabalia. At least 12 terrorists were eliminated, the IDF said, including several who took part in the October 7th Hamas massacre. More now on the phone call held yesterday between U.S. President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, where the White House said the president affirmed his ironclad commitment to Israel's security, condemned unequivocally Iran's ballistic missile attack against Israel on October the 1st, urging a diplomatic arrangement for Israel and Lebanon in order to safely return civilians to their homes on both sides of the border, and affirmed Israel's right to protect its citizens from Hezbollah. On Gaza, the White House said the leaders discussed the urgent need to renew diplomacy to release the hostages held by Hamas. The hostages who remain captive in Gaza have now been held for 370 days. And staying with the president, Biden also held a phone call yesterday with Jewish faith leaders for the high holidays, where he reiterated his commitment to the safety of the Jewish people and the security of the State of Israel, and spoke of his visit to Israel shortly after the October 7th Hamas massacre last year. Because, he said, I wanted to let the world know where I stood and where America stood. Biden noted the U.S.'s military action last week to assist the successful defense of Israel during the attack from Iran. He also spoke of the commemoration this week of the first anniversary of the October 7th massacre and the hostages still in captivity, as well as his commitment to bring all of the hostages home. Regarding the surge of antisemitism in the United States since October the 7th, President Biden spoke of the U.S. response, including increased protection for Jewish institutions and for Jewish students on college campuses, saying the Department of Education has put our colleges on notice about something that should be obvious to everyone, that antisemitism is discrimination, prohibited under Title VI of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Biden noted the high holidays, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, this year amid this time of profound sorrow for the Jewish community, but said that the Jewish people have always chosen to find joy and happiness and light, despite centuries of suffering, persecution, and pain. The president telling the rabbis, thank you for continuing to find joy in the darkness and shine your light on the nation and on the world. Well, Yom Kippur begins tomorrow, Friday evening, and we will bring you services here on JBS from Central Synagogue and the Hampton Synagogue, beginning with Kol Nidre tomorrow, Friday evening, and with services throughout the day on Saturday. We also, in these days of awe, remember JBS founder Rabbi Mark S. Golub, who shared his deep love for the Jewish tradition through passionate, creative, and insightful teaching. And we are airing his remarks from past Yom Kippur services tomorrow and Saturday as well. For more detailed information and our schedule, you can always look at the website jbstv.org. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, October the 10th. At 7 o'clock, Rabbi Ammiel Hirsch speaks about the renewed fears among Jews worldwide in the wake of the October 7th massacre. At 8 o'clock, Jonah Platt welcomes Rabbi David Wolpe, leading American rabbi and the Max Webb Emeritus Rabbi of Sinai Temple in Los Angeles, for a wide-ranging conversation touching on his rabbinical career, antisemitism, Israel, and the concepts of empathy and identity through a Jewish lens. At 9, Daniel Hartman is on L'chaim. At 10, Rabbi Eugene Borowitz discusses the Jewish tradition's understanding of God ahead of Yom Kippur. That is also coming up next. And at 10:30, an encore of the news. I'm Teisha Bader. I will be back after Yom Kippur with the news update on Monday. Wishing you a Gmar Chatima Tova, Shabbat Shalom, Am Yisrael Chai.